We're excited to be hosting Alliance for Positive Change's Voices Poetry Reading this evening. I just want to know a few things for everyone before we get started. Our restrooms and cafe are located on the 3rd floor if you need to use those facilities. If you have any questions at all, you can come to me. My name's Tony, and then my staff. We have Aaron and Libby here if you have any questions at all. We are back in full swing on our events program here at Barnes & Noble, so we do have some upcoming events that you can check out on our website, including Jennifer Lewis's new book, Walking in My Joy, which we're going to be discussing on September 7th, Anthony Mara's Mercury Pictures Presents on September 8th, and Dar Williams' How to Write a Song That Matters on September 10th. And you can get tickets on our website if you like, as well as a number of other events. Now, Barnes & Noble Union Square, please give a warm welcome to the Alliance for Positive Change's Executive Director and CEO, Sharon I. Duke.
Hi, everybody. So wonderful to be here with you tonight. And thank you for joining us for Alliance Voices. This is our first live poetry reading in over 3 years, and it's really good to be back. And a big thank you to Barnes & Noble for hosting us. So I'm Sharon Duke, I'm the Executive Director and CEO at Alliance for Positive Change. And Alliance is a multi-service community organization leading the way in New York City, providing services for low-income New Yorkers living with HIV and other chronic conditions that provide access to healthcare, housing, harm reduction, coaching, and so much more. We are really proud that Alliance is a welcoming community of transformation, of opportunity, and as you will see tonight, of creativity. We deliver on the promise of positive change with services that support each individual to move forward in their lives in the directions that they choose. And I think most of us will agree that self-expression and community are essential components of health and healing. That's why in 1999, Alliance launched our weekly creative writing workshop. For the past 24 years, every Thursday, we have convened this creative writing workshop, and that adds up to hundreds of inspiring poets and literally thousands of amazing poems. I'd like all of the Alliance poets to please stand and face the audience so that we can all celebrate you tonight. And everyone joins me in a round of applause for our Poets for Positive Change. I also want to offer a very special thank you to our poetry leaders, Azeem Khan and Rosa Velez. Every week, they have been leading this creative writing workshop before, during, and after the pandemic. Be it online or in person, they have kept poetry alive at Alliance. Thank you. I also want to take a moment to give a shout out to my amazing team, Alliance staff, board members, peer educators, and all of you. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Whether you're an ally, a donor, a friend, or just meeting us tonight for the first time, we're grateful that you're here, and we encourage you to learn more about our work by visiting our website, alliance.nyc. You can follow us by clicking on the QR codes in the bookmarks that are on each of your chairs, and join us in the work that we do together. So now, without further ado, I would like to bring to the stage Alliance's poetry leaders, our veteran leaders, Azeem and Rosa, and one of our newest poetry leaders, Harriet McNeill. Rosa, Harriet, and Azeem have a very special announcement for you.
Harriet McNeill, and Azeem Khan, I'm sorry. It's a very special joy and honor to celebrate two dear friends of the Alliance and generous supporters of the poetry workshop for many, many years. Karen Levine and Alan Swickler and the Phil Swickler Charitable and Memorial Foundation Trust. They have funded our poetry leadership training program that has trained nearly 10 or more different participants over the past years to run the workshop on our own. They have supported our poetry magazine situations. Most of all, they believed in us, they invested in us, and they've cared about us and showed up for us. So, on behalf of all of us at Alliance and the Poets of Positive Change, I am so happy to present these honorary plaques to say thank you. We appreciate you to Alliance's board member, Alan Swickler, and our dear friend, Karen Levine.
May you please join us, Karen and Alan?
Okay, so the plaques are the same information, but I'm saying it says, so it says, our deep gratitude to Karen Levine and Phil Swickler Charitable and Memorial Foundation Trust for bringing the power of poetry to countless Alliance participants and inspiring us all. Thank you.
Thank you.
And this is also for you, I'm saying the same information. Also for Alan Swickler and the Phil Swickler Charitable Memorial Foundation Trust for bringing the power of poetry to countless Alliance participants and inspiring us all. But mostly, I want to thank you guys for bringing together the love of Phil together, because if it wasn't for your support and everything that you guys have done for us in the past year, we wouldn't have poetry class. We wouldn't have all these amazing poets, us inspiring year after year to do the work that we have to. I know that Phil is smiling and happy to you guys. So thank you.
He's right here somewhere.
So, Karen and Alan, please feel free if you want to say some words.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for opening your hearts to us. The Alliance has been different names, but has always meant the same thing to us.
That part.
And as much as you're thanking us, we're thanking you. You bring so much to us, to the foundation. I talk about you guys all the time. If your ears are ever ringing, it could be me. It could be me. Thank you for honoring us and always continuing the work that you do, because there's no stopping you. There should be no stopping you. I am proud of you. Congratulations. You are now here as well. My brother. My mother's here, Mr. Phil Swickler's mother.
Hi.
Stand up? You can stand up. No, you'd rather sit? Okay. Well, thank you all for coming, and it's been 3 years since we've been live. It seems like 3 minutes, but most importantly, we're a community. The poets, and I've said this to a couple of people, but I want to mention it again. It's on your books. It says Situation 21. 21 stands for the number of magazines that we have published over the years. And I'm proud to say that I probably have most of them in my stack. And the poets are an unusually great group of people, eclectic as they may be, eclectic as they can be, and we're very proud of them, and we really urge you to listen to what they have to say, read the poems, read some of the back issues, but most importantly, we'd love to have you participate and be a part of our family. So I just noticed that My daughter is here as well. Randy, if you could raise your hand. Randy is a member of our board of the Charitable Memorial Foundation Trust, and a friend of Alliance. Used to work at Alliance, actually, at another point in time. But anyway, on with the poets, and good night. Thank you so much for coming.
Okay, good evening everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so happy that we're back and so grateful for all the good things that life has to offer us. Once again, my name is Azeem Khan. I'm one of the leaders for Creative Writing Program here at the Alliance for Positive Change. Before we officially bring the poets on stage, I would like to say a few thank yous. First off, Ms. Sharon Duke, your vision, your hard work, we can never, ever thank you enough for everything you have done and will continue to do. Thank you so much. Of course, the Phyllis Beckler Charitable and Memorial Foundation Trust. Thank you so much. Your continued support means so much to us. Thank you. There is so much that goes into creative writing beyond our poets. So many faces, so many people help us every day. I just want to say a few thank yous this evening. Of course, our liaison, Ms. Ramona Cummins, all the way to the back. Ramona, I gotta say really quick, I always say this, you can go into Ramona's office feeling lower than dirt, and you step out of there walking on sunshine. Ramona is amazing. Ramona, thank you. Of course, Brooke Braley, that holds everything together all the way to the back. Brooke. By the way, this is 23 years of thank you, so I have to give everybody their roses here this evening. Brooke, Dan over here. Dan? Where's Caroline, all the way to the back? The man that captures a moment. This man captures a moment. He does not take a picture, he captures a moment. Mr. David Nager, all the way to the back. You see our videographer over here, Mr. Antonio. Oh, Antonio over here, along with Dave, who's doing sound. Thank you very much. And of course, Barnes & Noble. 3 people here this evening. Tony from Barnes & Noble. Where's Tony? Tony over here. Aaron, where's Aaron? I just saw him. And Kelly, oh, he's somewhere? Yeah. Okay, he's here. And Kelly, who could not be here, but Kelly put everything together. And of course, our PR firm, Sophie. Where's Sophie's not here? Jeff, I know Jeff is here. I saw Jeff. Jeff all the way to the back. And Lauren, where's Lauren? Oh, Lauren's all the way to the back too. Thank you all very, very, very much. And of course, Rosa and Harriet, and our poets. Thank you all very much. Thank you. So as we all know, this is a very special occasion. We've had many, many, many wins, but unfortunately we had a few losses. So I would like to take a moment and invite Ms. Vela Hernandez to pay our respects to 3 poets who unfortunately lost over the past 3 years. So Ms. Vela Hernandez, the stage is yours.
Thank you. I would like to take a moment of silence, just a minute, to remember Donald Terriel, Rufino Colon, and Grace Peterson. Grace and Keith Hill. Grace, a.k.a. poetic, one time wrote, a moment ago. I could not tell you down from dusk. I will walk up, I will walk down, and yet I went nowhere. In those moments, everything scared me. Trees will move, birds will fly low over me. At that moment, I became willing to be free from fear. The sun shines, the sun sets, the moonlight is bright at night. No longer would I fight or be afraid. At this moment, my life is all right and things are beautiful in my sight. At this moment. In another occasion, Donald Terrell wrote, "Winner in you." In comes a time when in your tender life, you say to yourself, enough is enough. You have been through all the bullshit that you sweet, wonderful little heart can take. And then your mind starts to roll back into spaces where no one has ever dared to go. Your body begins to fall so very deeply in love with another, which is not real, in the reality of your lovely mind. That great wisdom God has given you will always be the power to lead yourself in different worlds, space, lands that have never been entered before, the many foundations of the human being, where no one has ever seen in their eyes. Each time you look upon God's lovely eyes, you should always know within that beautiful heart of yours that God is love and you are love as well. You are for the moment famous, with better health and then million souls of gold. You will do that very sweet dance of love, which is as pure as the fruit of passion. Well, now I have the honor of reading actually one of the poems of someone that I met when I became an Alliance staff 17 years ago, Rufino Colon. Rufino Colon and I established a relationship because my supervisor at that time, Marty Thompson, gave me the task of collecting the summaries of the writing workshop class, which we needed to report monthly. I learned that he was Puerto Rican, he had a dog, blah, 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 blah. One thing we had in common was that we both loved salsa. When Rufino left Alliance and decided to retire, we kept in contact, and he always sent me clips of salsa, the oldies, which I grew up with in my family. When I heard that he passed, it was very sad, but I will always keep him in mind for the person that he was, what he gave me and gave the community at Alliance. He was a leader. He was a true friend. He was honest, and he believed in everyone around him. So I'm going to read Man-Child. The child running wild, screaming at the top of his lungs, "I am a man." While the parents of the world look on in amusement and appeasement, "Yes, you are, my son, yes, you are." As a man-child, I have nothing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I am not a poet, but invite you to my verses of happiness and sadness, victories and defeat, so that you may know you are not alone.
Rufino Colon was the
Man-Child,
first poetry
man
leader
or child.
for the creative writing program.
Today
First
I am
military
all
child.
right in me. I might not be a great lover,
So I would like to
but I have
invite
learned
Mr.
to look
Eugene Eppes to
lovely
take the stage
great.
next. Eugene?
Man-child, man-child.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Came to represent the Alliance. Okay, so I said, roses are red, violets are blue. Yeah, right. That's some bull crap they taught you. Violets are red, and roses are really blue. How about that? I hold that as my truth. Even with proof, this is still my truth. I said violets are red and roses are blue. Don't look at me like I have two heads. Roses and violets could be whatever color you want them to be. Don't you go putting color on my truth. So the second piece I wrote is called Quotes. Shit. Pardon my French. Wait, I can't even speak French. Nor have I been to France. I was taught this shit. Excuse me. Pardon my French. Never mind. It was a quote. It was a quote that saved me. I have not a clue of who these artists are, but thank you. Your quotes saved me. The ultimate inspiration is the deadline. The mold of a man's fortune is in his own hands. Never go to a doctor whose office plants have died. It was a quote. It was a quote that saved me. You can learn everything from defeat, not failure, but low aim is a crime. Hard work has made it easy. That is my secret. That is why I win. When I had thoughts of suicide, it was a quote. A quote made me climb right back up that rope. You can't have it better tomorrow if you're thinking about yesterday. Compassion helps heal the hurts of others. Contentment begins with having fewer wants. It was a quote. Thank you. Thank you for your quotes. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. I said Black Lives Matter. What if your loved ones went to work never to return? Your loved ones' lives matter, right? They have murdered countless amounts of my trans people. Trans lives matter. Trans lives matter. I said trans lives matter. All members of my LGBTQ family lives matter. Hold up. They shooting up the schools and killing our kids. Our kids' lives matter. Our kids' lives matter. They finding women's bodies in storage containers. All lives matter. All lives matter.
Thank you, Eugene. Thank you very much. I would like to invite Miss Harriet McNeill to the stage. Harriet?
Welcome. It feels good to be on this stage again this evening. It's been 3 long years, and we fought the good fight to still be here, right? So this one is called Happy Seat. Sitting here in creative writing group, in my happy seat, going to outside meetings, grateful to be there in my happy seat. Being home, sitting in my house, in my happy seat. Going to the clinic to see my doctor or my therapist, sitting in my happy seat. Going to the supermarket, driving in my car, in my happy seat. And going to work
at the Alliance for Positive Change, I am always happy to be in my seat, to help others find their way through the things this place calls life, for them to find their happy seat. This one is very special to me. This was written in memory of Keith Hill. Love. Love is like a flower. It starts with some seeds, watering and blossoming. And with love for it, it blossoms into something wonderful and beautifully made. Love is kind, love is pure, love is bold, love tells the truth. But most of all, love is a precious gem that never loses its worth. Love endures forever. Love is everlasting. However, love has no timing limits. Love has no amount of weight. Love carries on and on and on. Love is something that comes naturally from the heart and spirit of a person. Love is not a bully. Love is not bitter or jealous. Love is not put on a shelf. Love is an action word. But most of all, love shines like a diamond, whose quality lives from memory to memory to memory to memory. Even after we're gone, our lives is over. So remember, real love is love, as long as we got each other. In loving memory of Keith Hill, my dear friend. And this next one is for Alliance for Positive Change and the work that we do in the many different departments that we serve our community. HIV is HIV. HIV comes in many different forms, shapes, colors, and nationalities. HIV do not bite, it do not hurt, it do not judge, and it do not fight. HIV has many different ways of getting it. So why discriminate? It comes through blood contact, blood fluids, blood transfusions, rapes, needles, and sex. It doesn't matter your age. HIV is HIV. It affects the brothers, the sisters, men and women, children, babies, infants, and grandparents. Yes, you and me. HIV is a life within itself, because a person who has HIV, they do not stop living. They continue to live right. They continue to eat right. They continue to fight for life with a hope and a purpose. They too can continue to dream, can continue to inspire, can continue to fight, to be encouraged. But most of all, they continue to fight for the good life they never had in God. HIV is HIV. It is another chronic illness that was added to the human race, that fights to take over one's body, to take us out of this world. And so, if you are like countless of others, including me, out here living with HIV, get up, get out, and shout. HIV is HIV. I am a fighter and I am a winner, to help other people take back their lives and give them a fighting chance at the thing we call life. H is for hope, I is for end, V is for victory within my higher power. Why? Because it's a spiritual thing. HIV is HIV, that part.
Thank you, Harriet McNeill. How is everybody doing? Everybody's good? Okay. So next to the stage, I'd like to invite Mr. Charles Waters.
I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of nervous, but I'm going to do the best I can. First of all, I want to congratulate myself because I became a peer. And I want to thank Alliance for, doing that for me, okay? So here I am today. Who am I and what do you see? I joined Alliance, it was called ASC. Who am I and what do you see? I had issues, an arrogant man with no priority. Who am I and what do you see? My issues dealt with addiction, anger, hatred, and dishonesty. Now who am I and what do you see? There was a wasted life smoking crack in the pipe. Now who am I and what do you see? Group, staff, and peers started to help me. Who am I and what do you see? I would like to thank the people that are Alliance of ASC. Brenda, Yvonne, Ramona, and Sharon. They did so much for me. Who am I and what do you see? A wasted life. Yeah, that's me, Chili. Who am I and what do you see? A new beginning. Yeah, that's me. Who am I and what do you see? My gratitude and respect, my integrity. Now look at me and what do you see? Now look at me and what do you see? Now look at me and what do you see? A brand new man with the concept of reality. Look at me and what do you see? No stress, I'm blessed and I'm at my best. Now look at me and what do you see? Working my plan through recovery. Now look at me and what do you see? I would thank Alliance for having me. And then I have one more. Okay, I got one more. I call this one my range of emotions. Imagine what a harmonized world it would be if every single person, both young and old, shared a little bit of what he or she do naturally. We come into this life with talents and gifts and abilities, which if we put them to use, they will be profitable to us and useful to the world. Yet we allow ourselves to be told, and we tell ourselves that we are not good enough, or nor that we are interested. We can do, many of us spend a great proportion of our lives seeking authorization, recognition, and never developing or using the goodness of the things we do naturally. If we would trust ourselves a little more and do what comes naturally, what we are good at, giving it our all and stop looking for fame and fortune, we might find ourselves sitting in a gold mine of ideas and ability. If we would stop blaming others, and being ashamed of ourselves, there will be no way we could expect anything less than the best for ourselves. If we stop chasing castles in the sky and do what we can and what we are, the world will appreciate and reward us greatly. I am willing to give the world to who I am, truly, naturally. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Alliance.
Thank you, Mr. Charles Waters, everybody. Okay, so our next poet needs no introduction. Our next poet, Mr. Azeem Khan.
And I want to say about Azeem, he is the best. Him and
Rosa and Harriet. Every day when we're doing our group, we have so much fun, and everything is just so beautiful when we do our poetry. And now, my biggest thing is wait till I get in the book.
Okay, so before I begin today, I have to say thank you, of course, to everybody. And I have to say two special thank yous. My mom, who is sitting here. And this lady right here. This woman gave me an opportunity 25 plus years ago when everybody said no. She gave me an opportunity. She saw something in me and she gave me an opportunity, and because of you, Miss Desiree Adams, I am standing here this evening. And I cannot thank you enough. She said yes when everybody else said no. And it only takes one person to give you an opportunity, and that's the person right there responsible for me. As you please stand up. Please stand up. Please. Desiree flew all the way from Guyana. She flew 6 hours to get here. 6 hours flight to get here and surprise me. Desiree, I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. And Miss Louise Duke right here too. Okay, so I wrote 3 pieces.
Only three?
Only 3. The first one is called They. Okay. The egg is cracked, the milk is spilled, the stitch is ripped, the thread has unraveled. The last straw was had, the line has been drawn, the camel's back is broken, the nail is in the coffin, and the coffin is buried. That's it. The next one. The next one is called 39. So, 39251, 39521, 39561, 39521, 39521, 39542, 3921. You must think I'm a mathematician, but that's just my commute on a good day. And the last one, I have to say quickly, me and my mom have been through so much, particularly in the last 2 years, but we have definitely come out on top. So this one dedicated to my mom sitting right here. This one is called Table. I am new to this seat, but I'm not new to this table. I'm sure you've seen me when I sat in the distance, but now I'm up close. Maybe a bit too personal for you. Maybe this threatens you. But I have earned my seat at this table, and now I will feast. Okay, thank you, Azeem Khan. Thank you very much. Very nice. Our next poet, Miss I.A. Virgin Poet. Where did I.A. go? I just saw her sitting right over here. Okay, she stepped out. So, we will have our fearless leader, Miss Rosa Velez. Rosa?
Azeem already said thank you to everybody, and oh my God, somebody I haven't seen in a while. There's some people here that I haven't seen in a while, and I just want to thank everybody that's here. And I also have my son right there, Danny, the yellow shirt. That's my 3rd child, my baby. I love him so much, and people don't realize realize how important family is. And during the pandemic, I realized how important my family is and how much I miss them. I miss you so much, and I'm glad you're here for me. I know, Sharon, we have a time limit, I'm going to try to do it quick. But I wanted to share a poem from my son Miguel's class. He's not here, it's a bit short. And the reason I wanted to read it is because sometimes our own family hurts us and they don't realize it, and so we express to them. And my son wrote this poem and he dedicated it to me. And it says, it's called Muddy Water from Miguel's class. I didn't realize you were wounded till I saw blood. My vision was blurred like water mixed with mud. I kept swimming without true clarity. I thought I could find my way because I was impatient and anxious. Then I stopped and the water started to settle. The dirt sank to the bottom. Now I could see. Only because I was patient and giving clarity. I will no longer haste, but be slow and steady. There is a race, but now I'm ready. And that's my son, and I think it's important when you can give a gift to your own family members that you have of poetry. Because my son also, Danny, is also an artist, and he also writes his own stuff. I think it's a gift that, thank you, Karen and Alan, that you have passed on to us, so we can pass on to our family members. So thank you, Danny. This poem was written from the older books, 2012. But it was when the Alliance was still ASC. And the reason that I want to share this poem again is called Crystal Dome. And the Crystal Dome is the Alliance as a place that's a dome that is very delicate and a crystal place, but it's a safe place that we can be in. And thank you, Sharon. I'm reading this again to remind you how much we love you, myself, Azeem, and Harriet. And it's dedicated to the ASC back then, but now it's the Alliance, the Crystal Dome. I found sadness in the fullest of places, frowns and clowns that never end, fears like rivers that are heaven sent. Carefully I listened within the Crystal Dome, carefully waiting like a hummingbird, batting my wings, quickly, invisibly, trying not to shatter the Crystal Dome. The Crystal Dome, a home for the multitude of faces, faces of all races, fighting, crying, hoping for an end to this race. A race we have begun in the battle of AIDS, in the battle of addiction, in the battle of abuse. How much more can we endure under the Crystal Dome? The Crystal Dome, this home I've said, where K-Man shares his sweet temptations, his fears of men who've shattered his senses, walls now built like broken fences, where Charlene comes and shares her parfait, but doesn't dare to share her dreams. Where are her dreams? Where did they go? The addiction demon has taken control. Then there's Wayne, where a sudden smile glistens in his eyes, speaking of a moment with his daughter in disguise, remembering his daughter vividly, yet again lost in the sleepiness of his addictions. He dozes off, a tear smears his eyes. He's up again, and the moment gleams across his face again, his beautiful daughter, his only daughter, under the Crystal Dome. Do I dare to share my fears, my hopes, the pain we all reflect as prisms under the Crystal Dome? No, not yet. If this Crystal Dome was to shatter, like it's done in the past, fragmented pieces we would become. But then again, that was the past. Softly, I imagine an invisible force gluing all these pieces together at once. As it happens, we have become as shining stars within this universe. No longer do we cry, but sympathize, enduring this pain. We hold tight to our dreams, our hopes that our friends will continue to make us smile, to make us dream, to make us want to live again. Within the Crystal Dome, I have found a home. This poem is called Rest in Peace and is dedicated to Rufino that I read in his wake. It says, my dear friend, you have had this tough exterior, a shell you grew to protect yourself from others. Within you was this little man-child, trying to be free from that which held you down. Dreams, memories of a lost love, and only love. Somehow she kept you alive for a little while. Your love for life came with one condition, that one day, hopefully soon, you would see her again. The time has come, this farewell, it's not a farewell, but you see, you left a lot of words of wisdom, poetry that were songs of you and Lynn, a heart broken and a soul longing for a return to peace. I know you are at peace now, but dear friend, poet brother, I will miss you, strong, courageous character, that at times a quiet, playful little child, trying to find his place in this world when everything he loved was taken away. We have many roads to travel. I know you have been tired, too many confusing roads. Your path is clear now, and within me, all I see is a smiling, content face, waving goodbye, but it's not the end. You will live with us forever, because your poetry has no end. Rest in peace, my dear friend. Rest in peace. Just want to share something quick. This is a quote from Helen Keller. It says, when we do the best we can, we never know what miracle is wrought in our life and the life of another. So that's how I take this quote. I carry this quote with me because it says when we do the best we can, we never know what miracle is wrought in our life. So I feel like in the Alliance, in our group, I live my life like this. Everything that when we're in the group, that we bring back from everybody, from the participants, is a gift to us. It's like a miracle. And he's not here, but he wrote something, a book from Alliance. His name is Darrell Wells, and he's one of our poets. Is he here?
Great.
I'm not reading his poetry because he's not here, but at one time his mom had died, and he was considering suicide. And I was so scared because I have my own children, and I said, what would I do if my son would tell me that he was trying to commit suicide? How would I save him? And we have certain rules and regulations. We're not supposed to be in contact with people from the Alliance and stuff. And I said, the only way I think I could save him is by giving him, I gave him a note, like a writing, and the writing was supposed to be something that his mom would have told him if she was alive. And I didn't know, it was like the week of Easter, that little note that I gave him, he put it in his paper, and he came back and he told me, he wrote, "Dear Rosa, the note you gave me saved my life this weekend. Thank you for your sharing, which often saves and saves more people than you know." We have it in our book, and I didn't think that little note, that little writing that I wrote to him as a mom to somebody else would have made a difference that weekend in him. And he's still here today. He has 2 children, and so that's the blessing of passing from one person to another our gift of writing and poetry. And I am so blessed that to have this gift. Yes. So I just want to thank Azeem and Harriet, especially Harriet, that Harriet brings more joy to our group than you know. Even when she doesn't feel like smiling, she laughs and she jokes around. And so thank you, Harriet. We love you, me and Azeem love you, but Azeem, 1,000 times more. Not more than you, but more in terms of because I know him more than you. Thank you everybody for being here. You guys are all blessed, and I'm glad for all the poets from the Alliance. You guys have made such a big impact on our lives. Everybody, David and everybody, he said everything, so I'll just let everything go for him, and let's. This is IA's next? IA? Come on, take it. I just want to say something real quick. I was supposed to be today in a second open mic in the Bronx with the Bronx Museum of Arts and reading, and I had to one place or another, but I just want to let you guys know that I love you guys.
And I must say, I is one of our veteran poets, so I am taking.
This is in honor of all of those that lost their lives before their time during this pandemic. It's dedicated to Linda, in honor of Jose Manzarasa. Rufino, rest in peace. His eyes are narrow. His voice is clenched in pain, tracing origins of frustration intentionally unfinished. However fleeting, his resentment exemplifies his pursuit to cut through the elusive fog in his thoughts that only he is witness to. He is an outsider, layered with complexities of psychological realisms that life has twisted him into knots, leaving him with apparent lack of responses to real life, to living truthful, and his bruised ego makes him agitated, seeking to camouflage his truths, recreating his insecurities, seen and remembered. So he now throws his voice into poetry, now his instrument, unknown to him and to others. It moves his soul from within to roads of secret sources of his sufferings, which he translates into words, into visions, making him prepared to stand on ceremony. He loves poetry, not himself in part, remembering to never love himself so much and feel his audiences. Although he is still fighting for inner peace and molding his creative ideas, his emotions, his tantrums remind him of his attempts to escape the tapestries of a riot of colors of imagination, embroidering his personal feelings that echo art he never understood. His indifference to will, sensitivity, frailties, his unrealized dreams almost blinded him. He can now reveal his soul of an aroma of language and visual images into poetry that is unraveling his life and flowing beneath his words. Dedicated to Linda, in honor of Jose Manzarasa. Her hidden affair blinded her of herself, but led her to his arms, where an open conversation makes her cry and exposes a longing to be loved. And in the midst of her struggles, her future and her plans shatter waterfalls and expose a rainbow of vulnerabilities that write of their love in that moment among the blue skies. To love him on that day, to lose him on the next, left her in pieces with sorries and apologies. As she sits in the core of this wilderness, she remembers how much he loved her. Her suffering is a self-made exile of an unplanned trip, a reality that in fact was a fantasy, unfinished and undone. This circumstance of no room to move in this image in absence led her to a dark and empty moment that she felt wounded with voices in her head. She belongs to her words, which give her freedom of a love she once had. As she curiously listens outside this darkness, demanding to know what lies ahead, she excludes herself as she is no longer a part of it, making her restless with an understanding that she cannot tolerate the very center of herself. These visions clear her head and create a lightness in her body and a realization of being something special. as her lips part to speak and fear is in her eyes. Poetry allows her to unveil the madness of her thoughts. I wrote this during COVID. COVID traumatized me, 799 people died every day. It had changed me. So, remember, as her lungs emptied with a final breath, her walls of protection showcased her suffering. Her suffering that belonged to no one. Unapproachable, tender images pierced her heart with an abundance of confessions that revered silence with respect, where worlds of voices gave off reflections of luminescent colors and emerald lights, dusting the air with tear-shed eyes in a bold, charming, charismatic form, sweeping away twisted recollections that are difficult to recreate, trapping her in dreams that are unnatural with sleepy bows on shaded windows, hiding monstrous nightmares of living shadows beneath the falling sun. As the night makes its appearance with glittered stars and magical darkness, it illuminates echoes of emotions that will tell the story of dashed dreams and glimpses of her future, with impossible choices and sacrifices, keeping her encaged in a mental spiral of sapphire blue crystals as she sits in the corner, forgetting to breathe, forgetting to speak, recalling her memories when she was loved, needed, now misplaced in a reserved silence. So, I have a friend, Lori, who has stage 4 cancer. She's now in the hospital dying. So I don't know the end of the episode. I don't know when time will stand still, but I know I had to say a goodbye letter. Being very cautious, being very tender. Lloyd, I love you, and you never know. My words come from caring and from an emotional connection between us, where I know that you are tired of fighting. The world will be different without you. You've raised an amazing family, and for all of those who care about you, you have made a difference. I have been lucky that you are my bestie, and your friendship is a unique bond. Lori, I remember all of our message conversations and how I always made you laugh and how you were my sounding board. I could cry to you. You made me my favorite, blunt. Your friendship has much wonderment. Even though the cancer has spread and cradled you in pain, you are still a true warrior. This current occurrence of your personal truth has now caused a cost adjustment for your family, friends, and you. This process has you feeling this way, that way, and no one has to agree with you. This is your reality. I believe in healing, but I have lost my peace. Our memories together will remain when you are gone. Loss doesn't end. I've always had a spiritual feeling about you. I smile far away, as I cannot make any sense of never seeing you again, or touching you. Forevermore, a.k.a. Virgin Poet.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. That concludes our event for tonight. Thank you all for coming out. I'd like to invite all the poets on stage. Thank you.